Hey everyone, welcome back to Digital Squadron. And in today's video, we're diving into a DIY PC mod. Ever really wonder what goes inside your PC while you're gaming or working? Imagine having a mini display inside your PC showing you things like CPU stats, GPU stats, FPS, etc. If you did, stick around because I'm going to show you how I did this awesome DIY PC mod that not only looks cool, but also keep me informed of my system performance. Okay, so to do this, you need a couple of different things. So you're gonna need the display itself, and this is the one I'm using. This one, I believe, is a 7-inch screen. These are typically made for a Raspberry Pi. So you got the HDMI here. This particular one has a couple of different micro USB cables. Like I mentioned, these are typically made for Raspberry Pi displays. And this is what it looks like. You're also gonna need an HDMI cable. So you wanna get something that's a thinner wire for cleanliness and the easeability of routing from the monitor to the back of your graphic card. So depending on the orientation of your setup of your PC, you might want to pick up even a thinner cable like this and a either right or left connector HDMI. I'll leave a link down in the description if you're interested in this particular one. Also, I forgot to mention, this screen actually came with a micro USB cable to power it on. And another thing that you might want to consider is like these screw extenders. Especially a screen like this with the back being exposed, you don't want these touching the PC case itself because it'll malfunction. Okay, so we're at my PC right now, and let's go ahead and get this guy on there. Before we do anything, you want to make sure the power is completely disconnected, and then I would turn off the PSU as well. Now there's a couple of different places that this can go on. The most popular places where people seems to mount this on the top where the radiator is. You can put it on the bottom if you can get it in between the shroud here. And it all depends on the PC case that you have. And but for mine, I'm gonna see if I can put it right where this exhaust fan is. Now, yes, putting it there, you do lose a fan. So make sure your thermals are on point before you decide to remove an exhaust fan. I mean, this should be a given. This is a 7-inch display. I didn't measure it ahead of time. That's a mistake that I made. Make sure you guys measure the area that you're gonna be installing in this and make sure that dimension fits the screen dimension for ease of installation. Okay, so the problem I'm running into with just 7-inch display is that it's too wide. It hits a motherboard, and when I try to do vertical, that it hits this GPU vertical mount.
No! No!
So I made a lot of mistake by not taking the dimension of my case. So as I mentioned earlier, I was planning on putting it where the exhaust fan was, but now that is no longer possible because a 7-inch screen is too big for this height Y40. If you have a height Y40, I would probably get a 5-inch screen if you're planning on mounting it in the back part of the case. All right, so you see this connector, this right connector should actually be a left connector. And what I didn't realize is the ribbon connector I bought only has 2 female connectors. So what I ended up doing is running that ribbon cable from the monitor into a different male-to-male HDMI connector to plug it into my GPU. All right, so learn from me. Before you get this, make sure you guys measure these things. Measure the dimensions of your case and then compare it to the screen and make sure it fits. So I was not able to put it on the back. I was not able to put it over here because it just didn't look right in front of the GPU. However, I was able to get the grooves up between the exhaust fans and the case using double-sided sticky tape, these guys right here, and it seems to be holding up really well. Okay, so you finished installing the display to the monitor and it's working, good to go. It shows up on your system as a secondary monitor. The last thing you're gonna need is a software to show the PC stats on that display. The most popular way to build your sensor panel is IDA64 Extreme. A lot of people use this because you can actually get the sensor panel exactly the way you want it. But this is a paid program. I believe it's $59.99, $59.95 USD. If you want to check it out, go ahead and download, use a 30-day trial, but it does have the trial written all over the sensor panel itself. The software that I'm using is something that I found on the Windows Marketplace or App Store. It's called Partzoid. This one is free, and there's multiple different pre-built options that you can choose from. There's this the weather one that you can actually add like a background image or a GIF to. And then this guy right here shows music, I believe. And this one's actually also pretty cool. It's got like a little animation that you can change the middle picture. But the one I'm using is the generic one that you see right now on the screen. This guy right here. All right, so once you download this, it's actually quite simple. You just gotta open it up. Okay, so this is the software for Partzoid, and I'll have a little screen of the monitor itself somewhere on the screen so you can follow along. The system panel kind of shows your hardware and the stats of it, but this is where you're going to be doing most of your stuff. So if you have two displays like I do, the second one being the stat monitor, which is display 2, you would choose the display that you want the stats to show, or you can actually disable it if you want. And then go ahead and pick a theme. I have, like I said, the generic one. You can actually move your mouse over to that screen and hold down Control, zoom in, and just whatever you prefer. I prefer mine to show everything, so I zoom out to about here. So that way it shows my frames per second, my audio, RAM usage, and I can still clearly see the temperature. But background, it is exactly what it says. You can actually change this generic one. Go ahead and you can click that and then find whatever video you want to put on there. Okay, I have like this generic video that, let me see if I can put it on there. Yep, see, you can see it that it's playing that video. Obviously you want to do like a GIF, like a static screensaver, so that it rotates much faster than this. That's that. Nation trapping, I believe this one has to do with music. I don't really use this. This particular one, the geometry one, is actually one of my favorite ones. Yeah, as you can see, this one has like a nice look to it. I guess it's got like the time. Your CPU and GPU is the only thing that is showing, but you can change the color of this, the layout. Like you can do like a rectangle. Kind of looks weird, but yeah. You can change the shape and all that. And exhibition, kind of boring if you ask me. And then lastly, the weather app. Now you can change the background on this. Like if you saw it on their website, you can kind of have like a GIF in the background like this and have the weather in front of it. Yeah, so like I said earlier, I just like the generic one because here it shows everything that I need to know at a glance. Now if I go ahead and play some music, these equalizer bars will go up and down. Looks pretty cool, but it's nothing that I need to monitor. But I do like seeing the FPS right there. If you disable this, it's literally just a secondary screen that you can do whatever you want to do with it. You can even just go to YouTube and pull up a video, go into full screen and just leave it on there. Kind of looks cool if you ask me. Yeah, so there you have it. This is the screen. I'll leave the link down in description for the monitor if you're interested in checking it out. And there you have it, your very own mini display right inside your PC, showing you all the stats at a glance. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for awesome tech videos in the future. Also, if you have any questions or ideas, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.